Hey everyone, and welcome to the first part of this outdoor instructor chat with Ben Yates from Summit and Beyond. Really enjoyed doing this interview. There is a second part, so make sure to check that out as well. We covered loads of different stuff. I probably could have stayed up chatting to Ben for hours and hours. But some of the stuff that we covered in this first part, I've had to write it down. We talked about becoming an outdoor instructor, what makes a great mountain leader, flora and fauna, how he set up his business, Summit and Beyond, and what he's been doing in the time where we've been in lockdown, because that's what's been happening whilst been filming this. So yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Check it out. Hello and welcome to Instructor 101 for outdoor instructors that want to make an even bigger impact on those that they work with. Today I am joined with Ben Yates from Summit and Beyond. So first of all, thank you, Ben, for coming to join us. So before the interview, there was this thing where we always have a preamble, and Ben and I would just like to natter really. But this is where I get to embarrass Ben a little bit, so I haven't prepped him for this at all. But I'm really thank you to you, because without honestly without you, I don't think Instructor 101 would happen. So for those of you that do like Instructor 101, then great. For those of you that don't like Instructor 101, then this is the man to blame, because yeah, he's been such an inspiration to for loads of things really. So but yeah, that side, Ben, do you want to introduce yourself, where people can find you online?
Job done. I can sign off now that I said that.
That's it. Game over.
Done. Yeah, I'm Ben. I'm a UK-based mountain leader, and I have my brand, my little company called Summit and Beyond, where I offer people guiding in the hills. And also, it's come from a mental health background, where I used to take people out and do a therapy, and then it sort of progressed from there. So that's what I'm about, and yeah, sure I'll explore that more in this. But
yeah, I'd love to go into a few more bits about what you do. And obviously with all this stuff, I'll try and make sure there's links to all of your stuff on the screen and the description down below. So I'm sure Ben will send me a few bits and pieces later on. So yeah. So Ben, obviously
it feels a bit like behind the scenes of Instructor 101, this.
What, looking like I'm in my back garden?
No, when you were doing the intro, I was like, whoa, this is weird. He's doing the intro in front of me.
Mate, I start trying to answer phone calls like that as well to my mates, just to freak them out, to think I'm recording them. So mate, you've had loads of different experiences in your life. So I was listening to a podcast type thing you did recently. You go to Bold Adventures, is that right?
Yeah, with Dave Bold Adventures.
Well, yeah, shout out to Dave, because I thought it was quality actually. Listening to that.
He's really good, man. He's got it. Yeah, he leads it really well. It was 2.5 hours long though.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna be able to follow that performance that well, I'm afraid. But yeah,
it was the first time that I've spoken to him properly. So it was, and we're both ex-army, and so we've got loads in common. And it just kind of so yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, man. It it's the first time hearing about your army background in a little bit more detail actually. For me, so I knew, so you've got loads of other experiences now, but the way that I first got to know you was through the outdoor instructor world. So yeah, just how did you end up in that?
In the army or the instructor world?
The instructor world.
I suppose I've always liked being in the outdoors, and then the army, you just naturally, you're just out there all the time, living, doing exercise out. So it was ingrained into me while I was in the army. And then when I left, and I did some traveling, I went out to South Africa, and I realized how powerful the outdoors is for education. And then I came home, and I just pursued like my ML, my CWA, and did some of the paddling stuff, and just got right on it, and then landed this thing with the NHS. But yeah, it's like that's like the timeline, if you like, in a nutshell.
Okay, cool. So, if you like you said, like it's quite powerful. Like the outdoors can be quite powerful for people. Is that something that you've always kind of seen then?
No, not really. I think when you start out, you're stroking your own ego, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? You're like, I want to go out climbing, and I want to climb hard, or I'm gonna. Yeah, like I would never, running in the mountains or like hiking in the mountains was never a thing for me. I was kind of like, unless I have a rifle and I'm patrolling, what's the point? But now it's like flip side. I'm like, I'd rather go for a nice stroll in the mountains than be clinging off a piece of rock, absolutely like soiling my pants. But I think that comes with having a child, and so no, it's not. Yeah, I think it's grown over time, the passion for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you? Because your story is totally different to mine, but then we connect, we get on, we do the similar things.
Yeah, like I came into it from. There's a couple of different things to it. Like it's one of those things I keep reflecting back to. I think I amongst wanting to have like this active lifestyle, I was just really interested in working with kids. I think that was the big thing for me very early on. I was really interested in just working with kids and just being in like in a cool place doing it and doing cool things. Yeah, although like at the time when I started, there was a TV show called Brat, which it was like this really cheesy like American thing, but what it was about, or the sentiment of it, I thought was really cool, was the whole. It was taking young adults out, and it was like these British kids that were taken over to America to go to do outdoor therapy.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it really inspired me. Like I was like a teenager when I watched that, when that was out on TV, and I think it's still something that keeps going, not as a TV show, but like it's like nature therapy is a thing which I want to look into a bit more. Actually, I just think it seems like a really interesting prospect and just different angle to go at things.
Youth work.
Yeah,
I work for a company at the minute. I'm not going to say the name of them, but that was their kind of ethos. It's the thing is though, is with the current system, things grow very fast, and then if you want to expand and grow, then you have to sing to the hymn sheet, if you like. And a lot of these sort of like ethics, these guidelines that we run by, which one of them was get outside to get the kids out. So you get it's like crisis care. So you get a young person who's like a Brat camp type kid. So you get a kid who's having a really bad time in their area. Their social worker puts them like in border country where there's nothing, and then we take them out into the fells and teach them sort of. I mean, it's a therapy, but finding companies, youth work services, or like companies that do that now is quite hard because of Ofsted and the pressure that they put on the companies to grow in certain ways. But there's still companies out there like it. You just have to be very, very good at safeguarding yourself these days.
Yeah, like I'm sure there's lots to it and lots of different angles to this, and like I have a lot of respect for people that do that sort of work, and it's seems very complex, very complex. Not just from like a practical standpoint either. Like I'm sure there's a lot of like questions that you have to ask yourself about what's right and wrong and bits like that. I'm sure there's a lot to it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest question you have to ask yourself is, so you go in as like the mountain leader or the paddle sport instructor or the rock climbing instructor or whatever you go in as. Like we're even seeing with this lockdown, we're even seeing like MICs coming through the door, which is quite like, I was like, whoa, okay. But that shows you what's going on with the economy and people getting out. But all that aside, yeah, you have to put yourself in a real time situation. So if I went to meet 2 clients and one of them was shouting and throwing rocks off a crag, and the other one like super unfit, would I be willing as a mountain leader to take that client base out, or would I be questioning, am I safe doing this? And I think when you work for a company and the company says, I want you to do this, and then you end up in that situation, like in and out, you're kind of like, oh, hang on, you have to ask yourself the question, would I do this if it was 2 clients coming to me? And the answer is no, you wouldn't put yourself at risk like that. So that's a message to all the like youth work mountain leaders out there. Don't do it. Like, look after yourself, man.
Yeah, it sounds like such a complex thing. Like such a complex thing. But like, yeah, like so you kind of gone from like, when I knew you, like personally and meeting with you, we worked alongside each other as outdoor instructors, then we briefly kind of went off in our separate directions and stuff. Sounds like we had a breakup, doesn't it? Like breakup. And
you left first.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And then I've kind of known you to go off and do different things, but now you've got more of like a mountain leader focus. Like that's what I've kind of seen a lot. So if I was to ask you what makes a good mountain leader? So there's like, because I'm always thinking like, okay, so there's what makes a good instructor a great instructor. So would you say there's something with mountain leaders as well? Like that's that same sort of question.
Yeah, I think for me, the main thing is passion. Like just being passionate about that. So I used to get really caught up with, oh, I don't know enough. And I think this is why I used to hide from it a lot. So I used to I had my qualification, but I would sort of hide from it and I wouldn't pursue it. I would pursue other things, but not mountain leading. And that was because like I probably could be stronger at certain aspects of it, like flora and fauna, like understanding what's going on with the environment around me. Like, that's not my strength. I love navigating. I love the areas. I understand the land. I got a good grasp on the geology and what's happening. But with the wildlife, I've always thought you need to be like perfect at everything before you can actually pursue something like that. And then the reality is that you don't have to be perfect at everything. You just need to be able to, if you're going to be guiding people out in the mountains, you just need to be able to keep you and them safe. You're keeping them safe is what you're doing, which there's some basic skills like understanding the area that you go into, understanding the weather, what weather you're going to come up against, understanding navigation and what kit you're going to be wearing when you're out there. I didn't do this because I think you should be wearing a woolly jumper. I just, you know what I mean? What kit you're going to be wearing. And once you've got those basic things down, the rest of it is just like your passion for where you're going, what you're doing, the activity, the area.
Yeah. Oh, you're still there? Might have cut out. Uh-oh. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Where did I get? What did I say last?
I was scribbling something down that I want to come back to. So, so I was like, try and multitask, not strong for it. In fact, you would say, yeah, don't go wearing you're talking about kit because you're talking about the amazing top that you're wearing, which I really do love and a bit jealous of. But you're saying that you want.
Yes, I think like it's so there's these basic things that you need to know about, and you need to be able to that you need to be experienced with. But I think the main thing is being able to guide people and have a passion about what you're doing, because that's infectious. It inspires people and it brings people back, and it helps them to live more healthy, I think.
Yeah,
so that's what makes a good mountain leader for me.
Right, what I really like, and that's a great answer, because I was scribbling down there. It's like, I love that you said that you don't have to be perfect. You know, when you're just starting off in like, yeah, obviously you've got to keep people safe. People got to enjoy themselves, but you're still going to be learning. Like, people are going to continuously learn. Like a lot of people say, you know, with driving, that classic phrase, like, you do your driving test, you pass that, and then you really learn how to drive afterwards. Because that's when you're racking up the experience, aren't you? Mm-hmm. A lot more. And like, to all the extra stuff that I'm still learning now. And like, one of the things that I love about doing these interviews and talking to people like you is because I get to learn even more about outdoor instructing.
Yeah. And I think like, so little scenarios popping up in my head where it's like, it's all well and good me putting out a YouTube video saying, this is what contours are, and this is how you read contours, and blah, 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 blah. But like, in reality, if you were like out there in the hills and we're in a new area, I'm like the same. My head's going, no, that's not right. And I'm really like, the only difference between me and somebody that's just starting out is that I've learned to trust the tools that I've got, but my head's still going, nope, like that's not right. Like, and I know, trusting it, Ben. So it's that, you know what I mean? We're still never going to be, I'd love to be able to say that I'm like, yeah, this is here and the contours like that, and this is how the ground looks, and my bearing says this, and boom, I'm perfect every time. But that's just not the case, man. But because
Mate, I wish I could get to that point.
And if somebody says to me, "Oh, Ben, that's a really interesting looking bit of plant life. What's that?" I'm like, grass.
What, every time?
It's grass.
I mean, there's a lot of it, so you're playing the numbers game, really. So actually,
grass. No, I'm joking. I do know some. I tell you, somebody that we both know, and Beth, she used to work at Robin Wood in Alston. She took my partner and I and my little daughter out, and we went to near the Rhinogs in Wales.
Yeah.
And basically, she took us around this trail, and we were just eating plant life. It was brilliant, absolutely fantastic experience. So I do have a little bit of knowledge, but generally, just to be safe, I call it grass.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's better to like be honest about it, isn't it? Like, I think, you know what, like early days instructor Niall would have been like really like hard on myself for not knowing all that stuff, and I was like, I think it's this, and not being sure, and then like kind of like I'd be like very non-committal to saying, yeah, that's wood sorrel.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I wouldn't be 100% sure. So, but I'd say it and I'd apply it, and yeah, it was just like completely the wrong attitude to do. Like, for me now, I'm like, it's okay to say I don't know, but you know what, I can find out, and you know what would be even better is actually to go, I'm going to find out, and then after the mountain day, I'm going to take the time to get back in touch and let them know, or
Yeah.
tell them where to find that information, because that's like a greater service, isn't it? And it shows like an interest as well. And it shows that you value the clients that you're taking out as well.
Yeah. You just set them up before you go out. You just say, all I want you to do today is find some sphagnum moss, and then we're all safe.
Yeah, yeah.
We can go to the toilet, we can dress a room, and we know that all the carbon's getting sucked up from the air, so we're good. That's the only one you need. I tell you what, I would like to get better at trees. I'd like to get better at identifying trees.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different ones.
Oh mate, there is. Like I've taken time whilst I've been going out and like daily exercise thing. I've been trying to identify things. I'm still uncertain about stuff. I like trying out new stuff, like bushcrafty bits as well, which is quite cool. I'm still yet to. One day I'm going to make my own bow drill set. It's going to happen. Got to happen soon. But trying like different, like eating like the leaves of hawthorn trees as well.
Yeah.
Walking cheese, I think, something like that. I'd have to double check. I'd need to double check. I'll find out for everyone watching. But yes, just we'll trying to find out that stuff.
We were chewing on some gauze bush leaves the other day, which was quite nice, like the little petals.
Yeah.
So I don't know the name of them, but they taste good.
Your homework then. Try and find that out what it is. Right. So like, obviously we've been talking a lot about mountain leader stuff, which is great. Obviously this year, lots of stuff has happened, hasn't it? 2020.
Yeah.
So, you were set to like fully commit, go all in on your business, launching Summit and Beyond, and like one of the things there is like committing to positive change, which I love that. I love that mental health, like the well-being aspect of what you do. I think it's so important. We're doing now more than ever. I was wondering if you could just tell us a bit more about that, and well, what your vision was and what it is that you've been up to now that obviously the mountains are currently closed to us. And tell us about that, because that can't have been easy.
So
it's a lot
I basically invested some of my money into a website, where the branding that I've got was actually created for me by this lady called Charlotte, and she did like this superb job. She just kind of landed it on me one day, and I was like, whoa, this is really good. So I went back to her and I said, can you build me a website? And she did a phenomenal job. I'm well happy with it. It's like she just knows what I want. So it was great.
Looks great. Oh man, I'm jealous. Very jealous.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's I can use it as well. I can interact with it anyway. So I started, it's a game changer. I've never sort of considered it properly, having a legitimate website. It's literally a game changer. Soon as I launched the website, it was like Summit and Beyond became like this recognized real thing. And then I started getting bookings. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'd sort of got enough bookings to be able to drop to like bank at work. So I could essentially freelance at the care company that I work for. And so I had bookings all through what we now make. So this weekend I was supposed to be running a big challenge. This upcoming weekend, a big challenge in the Lake District with a PT that a guy called Simo is a PT movement, if you like. It's called SF Boot Camp. So we were going to be doing this thing with his clients out in the mountains. But obviously I'd just be getting back from the Highlands a couple of days ago. So yeah, I was booked up, and then who was I speaking to the other day? I was like, it's imagine you reading a novel or a book. It's Dave and you're like, oh yeah, so this guy's built his life up to this point where a website and he's the mountain leader and he's got all these bookings, he's doing so well, and then you turn the page science fiction, COVID-19, like lockdown. It's like absolutely mental. So I built up my bookings through, for example, I was getting quite a lot of interest from so I had a couple of ladies get in touch and book their dads onto guided days with me, and it was to do confidence building and to they're older guys now, and one of them had been in an accident, and she was saying, can you just take him out and like just get him out in the fells and give him that lease of life again? I was like, yeah, that's me. I can do that.
That sounds like it's a perfect job for you.
Oh man, like I was so made up with it. I had bookings in the Highlands. I had a few people coming up from London who wanted to do like the CMD array, and and they're all looking for that moment of presence within this day out. So it was all looking really good, and then lockdown. So I had like 4 days of pure despair where I was just like, oh my god. Like,
hey, I'm not surprised. I was 4 days just isn't seems like a short amount of time, really, all considered. But yeah.
But then when you think about people, a lot of people like started to go, hang on, started to rationalize it. Hang on, like I hadn't got to the point where I'd left work yet, so I hadn't left my job. And there's this like 3 months grace thing that you've got to do before you can go freelance there. So I hadn't started that, so I was still in employment. So I was able to retract my resignation, which was like, I was a week away from leaving. So I was like, that's fortunate, right? There's lots of people out there who've lost their income, and I thought you need to. I just gave myself a kick up the backside, really, and was like, crack and get back to work and start change your focus, do something, look at what you can do, look at what you can change, and then I just started to focus on that. So
good man. I properly admire it.
That's what you've done as well, though.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've been trying to like put out more content, which is good. Someone was asking me, so no, do you have like a backlog of loads of videos and stuff? I was like, no, couldn't keep posting it. Trying to keep posting more and more. Oh no, it's getting to the right people though, which is really cool, and everyone's been really supportive of it as well, which is really, really nice. So yeah, really grateful to all those that are watching and supporting, like whether it's me or Ben, or we've seen other instructors as well, like Simon and Joel as well. Like it's been amazing the support that people have shown, like even just by like just leaving a comment or just watching the videos. It's just like incredible. It really means a lot, doesn't it?
I need to watch you one with Simon. He's a right lad, Simon. I can't wait to watch that.
So yeah, but yeah. So tell me like what you've been focusing on, because you're very creative. You very quite forward thinking. We're both influenced by a guy called Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V. Who? Gary V. Gary V. So yeah, like I think he influences both of us in certain ways. I say one of those ways is by building brands, and that's what I've tried to take some of this time to do. So what are the other things that you've been working on as well? We've got lined up.
When I got to my like moment of change, like just adapt, go with it. I was like, so there was this few days of inactivity on my website, on social media, and I was like, hang on, you've got this tool. So, and I could hear Gary Vaynerchuk in the background going,
Yeah.
with his jersey flipping, swearing, like, get off your backside and get on with it. So I was like, all right, what have I got? And I was like, I've invested in this website. How can I use it? And then I thought, well, right, okay, well, I could start a newsletter. That means like I need to get in touch with Charlotte and she'll have to build the page and everything. So that takes time. So start getting the ball rolling with that. And then I just started thinking about what are we missing as outdoors instructors? Not so much like indoor instructors, but the outdoor styled stuff. And then I just thought about the models that I've worked within. So like being an instructor at an activity centre, especially a climbing wall, the first thing that you do when you walk through the door as a novice climber is you go to the desk and they get you to tie a knot. And if you can't tie that knot, then they offer you a beginner's course. And then I started to think, okay, like, so let's look at the future now. How long is it going to be until I can get a group of people together and walk them as like a pack up to the top of a mountain? And I thought that could be something that people don't want to do anymore. So I'm thinking about this like 8 weeks ago. Started to think, okay, so how can I, as somebody with experience and a qualification, support other people that are maybe starting out to get out and feel a little bit safer? And then I thought, well, I've got this tool, I've got a website, why don't I just create a beginner's course online?
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. So I've like just very, very basic things about the areas and how to stay safe out in the hills. And I'm going to launch that on my website, put it in my newsletter, and sort of just try and distribute it out to people.
Mate, so cool. So good, and such a good idea. It just makes a lot of sense to me. It makes so much sense.
A lot of work, though.
All about the long game. All about the long game. But yeah.
I tell you,
just be patient, man. That's what Gary Vee would say. Just be patient.
I'm like, yeah, but lockdown's going to be over, and then I'm going to be out in the mountains. Like, I'm going to be vlogging, but I'm not going to be like sat here with my maps all set up, talking to my camera. I'm going to be out there, man. So I've given myself to the end of the month to get it finished. I'm like, right, they're starting to relax things now. So I'm like, right, end of May, done, like ready to go on the website. And then I can put some pressure on Charlotte to get the page built. And then I'm still at work for another month or so. So I can then, use that income to sort of supplement that being built. And then hopefully, I can get it out to people. But can I tell you what my favourite thing is that I'm doing at the minute? I love all that stuff.
Hey, definitely.
100%. My selfish thing is I'm setting up a Patreon page. So I love to go out running in the fells. And so I make these like little commentaries of, like, I'll go out for a run, film it, and then commentate the route when I get home, and then put a nice little video together of the route, and then sort of promote that route. And then later on, like you've seen my Pennine Way videos, later on I'll talk through the map. So just like talk through the map, just being a bit of this is just me looking at a map. That's what the videos are. So I thought, why not do that, but then make extra content that's teaching people how I train and how I eat and how I actually. So the way that I've done it is I've said how I plan, prepare, and perform the mountain challenge or the run that I'm going to do. So I've set that up now. I'm gonna launch that soon, and I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy editing those challenge videos or those running videos. So that's my selfish thing that I'm doing.
Mate, that's great. Like, if you enjoy it though, like back to what you were saying, passion. It makes
Yeah,
such a big difference. If it makes you happy, then do it.
yeah,
Just keep doing that. Like, that's why I love the instructor stuff. Like, yeah, it's a job, but I genuinely know I love it. It's great.
yeah.
That's
You
why I
do.
do the instructor 101 thing, because it's great. That's why I'm talking to you now, because it's awesome talking to like people like yourself. So, mate, I got really pumped up. So I'm like, yeah, let's do. I'm gonna go for a run. It's like
I'm doing it.
by the time it is at night now, it's like, let's go.
Yeah.
Mate, it'd be great if you've got a bit of time still to do some quick fire-ish questions. So that's the end of the very first part of this outdoor instructor chat with Ben Yates. As you can tell, I've really kind of getting into this chat, and I've loved it. And obviously there is a second part as well with the quick fire-ish questions round as well. I just wanted to separate it just so make sure that people don't miss out on all these bits of information. So thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to check out the next video. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to hit the like button. If you haven't already, like, hit the subscribe button as well. Check out Ben's channel if you haven't already. But yeah, really appreciate your support as always. And yeah, enjoy the next video. Before you swap over to the next thing, I forgot to mention that if you want to get on, like, have a chat with me as well and join Outdoor Instructor Chat, or if you've got other questions that you want me to ask people about, then make sure to let us know or get in touch. Just send us a message. I'll try to get that sorted for us, okay? Cool. That's the end of the video. Cheers.